name is Sam Chang, and I'm the president of a organization, NGO, in Taiwan called the Negative Vote Association. And my involvement with direct democracy is very simple. Our organization have been promoting this negative vote idea not only in Taiwan but also in other countries. And the only way to achieve the reform we're looking for is by direct democracy. Let me explain quickly what negative vote is. Negative vote is simply giving voters the choice to vote against a candidate instead of for a candidate. And if you choose to vote against, your vote will be counted as -1. So winner of an election has to be someone who receives higher net positive votes. And it's very important that this concept is still one person, one vote. You still have only one vote. Now, because you only have one vote, if you are a loyal partisan voter, you will be asked by the candidate or party to vote yes for the party nominee, right? If you're a loyal partisan voter, you'll vote yes. So who will vote no? The non-partisan middle electorate or the centrist or middle electorate. And if you choose to vote no, because you only have one vote, you will vote against the extremist. So this is how negative vote can help reduce the influence of extremist candidates. And also because nowadays a lot of voters sit out an election because they don't like any of the candidates. Now with a negative vote choice, some of them will come out. Therefore this will increase participation. And this increased participation comes from the center, the middle electorate. And that's also very important because, as you know, in any election where there's a tight race, any small increase in participation can change the result, who wins. And this increase comes from the center means in all future elections, no matter what party you belong to, you have to pay more attention to what the central, the middle electorate want. And in order to appeal to the middle electorate, you have to bring beef to the table. You can't just keep smearing, dirt on the other side anymore, which is very common nowadays in elections anywhere. So in Taiwan, we have proposed a national initiative last year. Our next project is in Berkeley, California, where we will be asking Berkeley voters to approve a citizen initiative so that in elections in Berkeley City in the future, this choice may be available. One question we get asked very often is this practiced anywhere in the world? It is actually practiced at UN already. So if you Google how the UN Secretary General is elected, you will find that nations already can vote encourage or discourage for each of the candidates that want to become the UN Secretary General. Therefore, we use that as an example and ask this as a basic human rights issue. Why don't we, as ordinary citizens, not having this choice to vote no when we select our leaders? The UN already does it. And I believe that this concept is also very important to be included in the declaration that the forums is drafting, for the modern direct democracy to be included as a basic right. My background is investment banking, and this idea of negative vote came to me during a visit in Israel, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, when I had a social conversation with an Israeli friend who talked about the Israeli military draft system. And he told me that everybody in the world knows whether you're a man or woman, you're subject to draft in Israel. But did you know there's a small group of people who are not subject to draft? I didn't know at that time. So he told me about the story that there was a group of Orthodox Jewish religious leaders that asked Ben Gurion during the Independence War to exempt the students from their religious schools from military draft. And there were just a few hundred back then, so Ben Gurion agreed. And this friend in Israel considered himself a middle electorate person, but he felt particularly frustrated by this group because he says that they're the ones who don't want to have peace with Palestinians, they're the ones who go to their occupied lands, and but yet when trouble starts, my children have to fight, their children don't have to fight. It's not fair. Yet he could do nothing about it because they're a very cohesive group. They always get their seats in parliament, so they have disproportional influence on Israeli national policy. I used to do meditation practice regularly, and that next morning in my hotel room I was doing meditation, so this idea came to me. You know, that led to further study, research, and there are other people who have ideas. So it's really not my business. I'm, you know, as an investment banker and not a political scientist, or never even took a course in political science. But eventually, it got to the point where I had to do something to promote the idea, and it was very clear from the very beginning this idea will not be welcomed by any politician in power. Doesn't matter what political party they belong to. They already have accustomed to how to win an election, and they are afraid people might be able to vote against them. So from the very beginning we knew the only way to succeed to implement this reform is by way of direct democracy. And so we started this negligible association 4.5 years ago in Taiwan, and basically non-stop ever since to promote the idea not only in Taiwan but worldwide in different forums.